LOL take two. LOL take two. LOL take two. Now listen. After having just finished another December on steroids holiday season, I find great comfort in the week between Christmas and New Year's. There are no presents to worry about. You get to eat delicious and fattening leftovers and worry about the calories later. Before Christmas, I have a stack of my favorite Christmas specials on DVD, and this last year, I only got through 2 of them. It was so rushed. Thankfully, I can always find time for a Charlie Brown Christmas, as it's about 10 minutes long without the commercials, which, ironically, is the length of one commercial break on Law & Order SVU. The other special is Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Like Charlie Brown, non-baby boomers tend to mock the stop-motion animation and sappy message. But for a kid growing up in 60s suburban Iowa, the message of Rudolph gets me every time. Of course, I could relate to being different and made fun of and not being asked to join in the reindeer games. Okay, I was actually happy not being asked to join in any games, reindeer or otherwise. I could relate to the characters. Herbie, the gay dentist with a Bob's Big Boy hair. Yukon Cornelius, always out there looking for his dream. Even Charlie in the box. We're on the Island of Misfit Toys. Nobody wants a Charlie in the box. Nobody wants a doll that menstruates. In the midst of the crazed holidays, I received a package in the mail from my old friend Kate. She's not old. Well, she's older than me, but since we've been good friends since the early 80s, I guess that makes us both old. She was my boss at the College of Agriculture Student Services in St. Paul, Minnesota. I was part of the temping pool at the University of Minnesota, paying my way through college with this great thing called work-study. So instead of having to take out student loans that I would no doubt still be paying back 4 decades later, I got a set amount of money and had to work it off at a nice hourly wage. It was like reverse prostitution, but I sure learned a hell of a lot about flying by the seat of my pants, which actually prepared me nicely when I moved to LA. One of my work-study jobs was a secretary, which basically is being everybody's bitch, working under the dean at the College of Agriculture. For me, this required a bus ride to St. Paul on the 21A bus line, which was a 30-minute schlep from Minneapolis. My boss was Kate, and she was fabulous, a real Renaissance person. She, too, had been a theater major, though her emphasis was in design. She was artistic, funny, smart, and I quickly adored her. Kate and I bonded over theater and the ridiculousness of everyday office life, including the 6'2" gay guy with a lisp who was married to a woman and they had children. Go figure. We always wondered who the father was. Before I left for LA in 1986, I left notes and naughty little post-its hidden all over the College of Ag's office, and I mean everywhere, which Kate kept finding for years afterward. I moved to LA and kept in touch with Kate via letters and postcards. So last November in 2023, I get this package from her containing all my letters, postcards that I had sent to her, but I was so busy with the holidays, I didn't have time to go through them. Bill looked at me and said, "You've been purged." I told Kate what Bill said, and she said, No, not purged at all. I reread every word, but thought all that sweet Tony history belongs with you. November 23rd, 2023, St. Paul, Minnesota. A letter from Kate to me that arrived with this package of my correspondence. Dear Tony, I finally found time to read all these letters from you dating back to 1986. There are some great stories in these, and my guess is you'll have fun as memories flash through your brain. It's especially fun to read about your travels, plays seen, and meals experienced, and all those thoughts growing through your mind at the time. Even stories about the early days of your house and garden and all the work you two put into creating the home you live in. Enjoy the trip to the past, in your own words. Sending love to you and your Bill. Plowing ahead with my Bill. We're lucky to have them. Love, Kate. And so, after the hoopla of last year's holidays, I began going through all this correspondence. Honestly, I was amazed, surprised, and in some cases, quite moved to hear myself, as I was, a kid fresh from the Midwest and ready to make a name for myself in Hollywood. July 19th, 1986. Letter from Mankato, Minnesota, where I was doing 4 shows in summer stock prior to my drive out to La La Land that August. Dear Kate, well, 2 down, 2 to go. We open Dining Room next Wednesday and run it 1 week. I love the show. It's really a fun show to do. So far, I've been very pleased with my work in the 3 shows, and I got nice feedback from different people. It's hilarious getting stopped in the grocery store or while shopping by total strangers. Yesterday, my friend Roz and I were having a Malibu day. A day in which we do nothing but bask in the sun by the pool of an apartment complex neither of us lives in. No one said anything to us yet. She is Malibu Barbie, and I am Malibu Ken. We were having our Malibu day, and there were some little kids playing in the water. You know, these paternal instincts just sort of came up as I played dodgeball with them. Maybe when I'm 30 or after I own my 3-bedroom house with pool in L.A. Well, I should be going. I'm going to be here in Mankato until August 11th, then I will be in Des Moines at Mom's house until August 25th. Thanks for the nice letter. Keep me posted on how motherhood is treating you. Love, Tony. 2024 footnote to this letter. I have to admit, that was a fantastic summer, gearing up for my move to LA. I am still great friends with Malibu Barbie, and thanks to all those UV rays, Malibu Ken now visits his dermatologist every 3 months for a quarterly strip and burn. September 2nd, 1986, postcard to Kate from Hollywood. Kate Doll walked on the beach 2 days after a day of pounding the pavement with much luck. Have appointments all week with agents. I got a job with a temp agency in Bev Hills and booked next week with a big talent agency in town. Have auditions later this month for Password and $25,000 Pyramid. My apartment that I move into, 9486, is really neat. It is in the Mid Wilshire district. I'll send you the address. Take care. Love, Tony. 2024 footnote. You can't say I didn't hit the ground running when I got to Hollywood. And yes, I guess sometimes I used to call Kate Doll. I have no recollection of this, thank God. January 17th, 1987. Letter to Kate. Kate, thanks for the letter and Xmas card. The weather is stunning today, about 67 degrees and clear and sunny. Career news. I signed with the Wilhelmina Agency for commercials. After interviewing about 15 agents, I picked them. They're very excited about me. I was sent out on an audition for Big Boy the day I called them to say I had chosen them. I have another audition for national commercial next Tuesday. Well, it looks like trying to keep available during the days while supporting myself and doing showcases around town at night will take a little juggling, but hell, I've always kept busy. Glad to hear things are going well, and as always, thank you for your support and confidence. Love, Tony. 2024 footnote. The Wilhelmina Agency dropped me after 3 months because I didn't book anything right out of the gate. And yes, trying to hit auditions, do temp jobs to pay the bills, and hit showcases at night proved quite challenging. April 5th, 1987. Letter to Kate on Disney Studios stationery where I was temping. Dear Kate, howdy. Thanks so much for the nice letter and card. I was going to send you a card, but this letter probably wouldn't fit on one. The rainy season is now over and the spring has been beautiful out here. I've made a few changes in my life also. Kind of symbolic, huh? I have moved as of April 1st. I moved to a suburb into a house with a friend that I met in the show I did. The whole living situation at the other place was hideous. One of my 2 roommates drove me nuts. I'm sure I drove her nuts too. The neighborhood was too urban, city-ish for my taste. There was a wife-beater next door. The landlord was a hideous Greek guy named Xenophon, and there was no hot water. I could go on, but I won't. Anyway, I now have my own room, my own phone line, and a nice neighborhood to walk in at night. A couple of weeks ago, I went and saw Lily Tomlin's show, The Search for Signs of Intelligent Life in the Universe. Oh, it was stunning. If you ever get the chance to see her live, by all means do it. I went backstage afterwards. I knew the name of her assistant and told the guard that he and I were friends. Lily signed my book of the play, and we chatted for a bit. I told her that they were building the set for her new movie with Bette Midler at Disney Studios. She asked me if I was an actor. I said yes. She said that there were a lot of small parts in the movie that were still uncast. She ended it with, "Maybe I'll see you on set." The next day, I got a copy of the script for the movie and stomped into casting at Disney. I've been temping here the last couple months, and I dropped my picture and resume off. A secretary friend here is getting a promotion to casting in 2 weeks and took some pictures and resumes. God love her. The career is shaping up, and I'm solidifying the direction I think I should go. I think that the comedy at the comedy clubs is my way of permeating the Hollywood scene. I have signed with an agent for films and television, but all they can do, unless they're a biggie, is submit your picture along with the masses. It's no wonder casting directors are neurotic. I assume she's submitting me, but I feel that my creating and working on myself as an actor/personality will be my ticket to ride. And the best way to do this is through the clubs. I'm booked at a very good comedy place this Sunday night called Igby's Comedy Gallery. I'm new there, so I get a short 10-minute set. They ask you back if they like you, so I hopefully will wow them with a new song called The Ballad of Vanna White. Well, I should get back to work here at Disney. The next time you hear a Disney movie costs so much, it's because I spent their money writing letters to you. Don't you feel special? Love, Tony. 2024 footnote. The friend that I moved in with was Bill, my husband, 38 years later. The Disney temp job was a hoot, but I did not get a part in the Lily and Bet movie Big Business. And the premiere of my comedy song, The Ballad of Vanna White, was a complete and total bomb. And in case you are so inclined, you can hear about it in podcast 23 called Stand Up Guy. Knock yourself out. June 8th, 1987, letter to Kate on ABC's 7 station area where I was temping. Dear Kate, thanks for keeping up the letter writing. I really appreciate it. My life seems to have mellowed out a bit. I'm now doing legal temp work only, and my rate got raised to $16 an hour. It's great because I'm now putting in a few night shifts and a day or two, and it's making me plenty to live on, so I can concentrate on the old acting career. My mom was out visiting just a couple weeks ago, and we had a ball. We went to Disneyland. We had gone exactly 20 years ago when she was 24 and I was 4, and she kept telling people that when we were standing in line. How embarrassing. The weather wasn't the best, and the last day we had nothing to do, so my roommate and my mom and I took off to Vegas. It's a 5-hour drive, and we left after I had an audition. We got a $10 a night hotel room, had steak and lobster for $9.99, and drank for free. If you're gambling, even on 5-cent slots, you get free drinks. We got back to LA the next day, hungover, and got Mom to her plane 10 minutes before it took off. So far, we've been experiencing off and on summer weather, which I guess will continue through June. As you can probably tell from the letter, I'm not completely sold on LA as a wonderful place to live, but the career is here and I've got to pursue it full force. No point in being wishy-washy about the whole thing and using the excuse, I'm still new here, to not give 200% and get it going. Thank you always for your support. Love, Tony. 2024 footnote. Bill was still referred to as the roommate, and obviously I was starting to get a little frustrated that I had been out in LA almost a year and had not made it yet. August 24th, 1987. Letter to Kate. Dear Kate, oh, the start of another glamorous week in Hollyweird. I am sitting, listening to tunes, drinking coffee in my robe, listing things I have to do today. I have 2 auditions, 1 show, 1 comedy, and I'm mailing letters, pictures, and resumes to prospective agents. I'm negotiating permanent status at the $20 an hour law firm job. It was great seeing you when I visited Minneapolis. I can't tell you what inspiration, motivation you are for me. Your outlook is one I often try and emulate. You know, what would Kate do in this situation? Since I've been back, I've been going gung-ho, even more so than usual. Love, Tony. 2024 footnote. $20 an hour back in 1987 was good money. Thank God I could type 112 words a minute. December 14th, 1987. Letter to Kate. Kate, I auditioned for Murder, She Wrote, no word, and have an audition for Days of Our Lives in January. New pictures, new agent. I got accepted at a Dudley Riggs clone theater called The Groundlings, and I start in January. Still word processing, making a ton of money. Looking forward to making it this year. and fulfilling your 2-year prophecy. Love, Tony. 2024 footnote. I don't recall Kate's prophecy that I would make it in 2 years, but obviously it was in the back of my head and kept me chugging along. 5 years as a University of Minnesota theater major had not prepared me for any of the realities of the business, except my work-study temping. I had this book called How to Make It in Hollywood, which was my Bible, with chapters like Targeting Your Buyer, Don't Shoot Yourself in the Foot, and What If I'm Different? In my second year, I was finally making some money to pay my way, but feeling like I was not fulfilling my showbiz dreams. Still referring to Bill as my roommate, but thankfully still encouraged by my dear friend Kate. Little did I know what was around the corner and where I would eventually break through.
LOL take two. LOL take two. LOL take two. Be continued.